Two dudes with attitudes, let's go. It's the two dudes and our attitudes ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. With Ryan and Denton, they here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast, shit, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E. The two dudes with the attitudes to bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.
It's Two Dudes with Attitudes, a wrestling podcast with Ryan Enjoys Wrestling and MWO. And this is our AEW 2024 Year End Awards, where we are going to do 10 categories of our top stars, matches, promos, and so on for AEW. And boy, happy holidays, everyone. But it has been an up and down year for AEW, to say the least. And we're going to break all that down right now. Correct? You ready? You guys?
I am. Yeah, no, I am ready. Let's get into it, man. Let's start hot and heavy with the Male of the Year in AEW.
All right, Male of the Year. This is a hard one. I'm sure a lot of people have different opinions on who they think the Male of the Year was. Who do you got as the AEW Male of the Year?
I'm gonna go Hangman Adam Page. I feel like the man I feel like he has shed a lot of the negativity that was kind of plaguing him earlier in his career, especially during the whole CM Punk fiasco. And he became the most interesting male in AEW this year with his just unhinged gimmick, to burning down Swerve Strickland's house, to his matches with Swerve, his obsession with Swerve. And even the feud with Jay White was was told really well and done really well. And his mustache game is on point. So I go Hangman Adam Page, Male of the Year. He had the best year. I know he lost a lot of matches, but it's not really. It's more about character-wise. It's more about storyline-wise and just what you've done. And I feel like I said, he was probably the most interesting male that AEW had this year.
Great pick. Hangman has done nothing but succeed, and his mustache game is the reason why I always try to just do a mustache. Now I'm going back to my beard, but every time I see him, I'm like, I want a mustache again, and then I get it, and I'm like, don't look like his. His mustache is just it's perfect. My Male of the Year has to go to my dude, my brother from another mother, who isn't you, Swerve Strickland. My dude, swerving when he drives. I mean, this is his year. He carried WWE when he became a champion, and everyone thought, shit, WWE gave up on him. AEW took a chance on him, and everyone was like, oh, he's gonna suck. And I think he had possibly, other than Kenny Omega, the best AEW title run in the history of AEW. I believe better than MJF, better than Hangman, better than any of the other people, Chris Jericho. So yeah, Swerve Strickland's got to be my male. And his matches, some of the best matches of the year as well, man. So yeah, he did his thing. So mine's Swerve Strickland.
Yeah, no, that's a solid pick. I like that pick a lot. And he was my runner-up. Swerve was fantastic. And the only thing about Swerve that I didn't like was they didn't treat his title reign like it was important. You know, he had
there.
He had Mercedes Moné get a whole championship celebration when Swerve had a match after winning the belt. So it was just kind of strange. He didn't get a celebration or anything or something. But but no, but other than that, you're right. He did carry the company, and he was fantastic.
Yeah. All right. What's next? Woo! Tag team back again. Pretty much non-existent in AEW. All right. Who you got? Who's your tag team of the year?
This one was really, really hard. But I'm going to go back to more. I'm not going to go Private Party, and I'm not going Young Bucks. I'm going Darby Allin and Sting, only because of the moment that they had at Revolution. I was in attendance for it. It was just incredible, the whole match with Sting's last match and everything. And they left the arena with the tag team championships, and then they had to relinquish them due to Sting's retirement. So they still haven't lost the tag team titles technically. They just had to relinquish them. So yeah, I'm gonna go Darby Allin and Sting. I feel like that was probably the time where the tag team titles were the best thing in AEW. I mean, at main event and the pay-per-view, and the tag team division at that time was really, really interesting. And since then, I mean, it's just kind of taken a little bit of a nosedive.
That's a good pick, and that's top 3 matches of the year as well for AEW. That match. I'm going to give it to the tag team that basically took the titles and then buried them, only because they were basically the only tag team all year, and that's the Young Bucks. I mean, No, I mean, and they did kind of bury those tag team titles because they're pretty much worthless ever since they got them. But they did have them. They did defend them, sort of. They were the, EVs during it and kind of elevated themselves. And that crew just kind of disappeared. But nonetheless, I know it sounds weird to be a negative with a positive, but that's what happens when the division is weak. But yeah, I got to give it to the Young Bucks just because they had the titles for basically the whole damn year. So, and everybody else was like second fiddle. So, which is a bummer because they have good tag teams in AEW.
They really do. And the fall off of the Acclaim needs to be studied big time.
Mm-hmm.
But
agreed.
It should have been there.
All right. What's next? Female of the year. Can only be one. Who do you got?
Oh, I'm going Mariah May. I feel like she dethroned Toni Storm. She is the AEW Women's Champion. And I feel like she's kind of doing the thing in the women's division right now, with AEW in the women's division. So I'm controversial pick probably, but I'm going Mariah May.
Super controversial, especially I just said there's only one person, and that is one. Rest in peace to my girl, timeless Toni Storm, who passed away after she lost her belt to Mariah May. Sad to see her go, but she had a phenomenal year in the year. I mean, this girl was.
She just debuted. What are you talking? She just signed with AEW.
She's not timeless Toni Storm. No, she is just Toni Storm.
Yeah, but
this Toni Storm.
She had an incredible,
not timeless.
She had an incredible debut on Rampage.
Timeless is dead, brother. And that's where I was going to get at. Not only was she a nobody in WWE when she should have been a somebody because she's always had the skills, she had to figure out a character that was so outside of the box, and holy crap, does she make it work and work effortlessly. She had the best run of any female, in my opinion. I think she's the female of the year in all pro wrestling, to be honest with you, more so than Liv Morgan. And then, she loses her belt, disappears, and then comes back with amnesia, and we're all like, what the hell is going on? As a normal Toni Storm wrestling jobbers again. It's hilarious. Anything she does works. Toni Storm, female of the year. For sure. I already missed the timeless one. I'm telling you, I'm hoping it's a huge facade. I hope when she turns on Mariah, she goes back to the timeless and it's all just like a joke to get into her mind. I think she'll be her crony, like you said. I really hope so.
She should be the Mariah May's Toni Storm. That's what I want to see. But you're right. It was tough to choose between Mariah May and Toni Storm. I feel like those were really the only two choices. But yeah, I'll be picking Toni Storm a lot for some other things.
Oh yeah, not Mercedes Money. I mean, she had a great year. All right, go ahead. Who's
defeated?
Oh gosh. All right, what's next? Oh, most improved wrestler. All right, who'd you pick, and why is it Mercedes Money?
It's not. This was probably the hardest one we had, but
it was.
I'm going to go Jack Perry. I feel like,
good pick.
Like Adam Page, Jack Perry shed that negativity that was kind of clouding him a lot this year. I mean, he did kind of embrace it with the scapegoat thing. He was the scapegoat in the whole CM Punk fiasco, and he kind of made that his gimmick. But man, I feel like he got better on the microphone. He got better in the ring. He was the TNT champion for a while. He had a great match with Daniel Garcia. He had vignettes. He was working with the Elite. He made Tony Khan. He put Tony Khan in a move and made Tony Khan take a bump. And I'm not talking about booger sugar. I'm talking about an actual bump.
He took those too, but
but yeah, man. Like I'm going to say Jack Perry is the most improved from where he was at the end of 2023, where a lot of people thought maybe he should be fired for this whole CM Punk thing, to where he is now. I feel like he's earned a lot of fans' respect back after everything that happened. So Jack Perry's my most improved.
That's a good pick. That should have been my pick, but it wasn't. I picked one mustache dude, Hangman Adam Page. And I know it sounds weird for a guy who is a former world champion at AEW to be the most improved, but I just think he is, because when you think about him last year, he did all right. He was there. He was doing his thing, but he went from like, why did he have a title reign? Why do we even book Adam Page? To holy crap, this dude is like literally elevating everyone he touches. So most improved doesn't mean you have to suck. It just means that you got a lot better than you were before. And I think if this Hangman Page was the world champion, he would have had a phenomenal world championship run. I compare him a lot to Drew McIntyre, where he's a guy who's been in the game forever and has always been good, but now he's finally like found that character like Stone Cold did. Took him forever to find Stone Cold. Sometimes it just takes you a while as a performer to find that. Toni Storm's another one, right? Hangman Page has finally found himself, and I know the character isn't too far off, but it's still a different enough character to make him the most improved. And his matches, I mean, how many matches that he had that sucked? I mean, I can't think of any. So Hangman Page, man, promo-wise, possibly the best talker, possibly one of the best in-ring performers, and by far the best character. Hangman Page, dude, most improved in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I can't go wrong with that pick. And similar to Drew McIntyre, he's right in a lot of his grievances. Swerve Strickland did break into his house, but the fans chose to boo or cheer Swerve and boo Hangman Page. So he's right, and he's justified in a lot of his actions.
Word. All right, what's next? Most shocking moment, all right, of AEW that they're still around. Just kidding. All right, who do you got?
The TV deal. No, I'm giving it to Mariah May turning on Toni Storm and busting her open on Dynamite with the high heel. I feel like that was probably the most shocking moment that we could have seen. I think we all knew that Toni Storm and Mariah May was going to turn on Toni eventually, but I don't think we expected it to happen the night that she won the Owen Hart Invitational. And then the way that she did it was just completely one of the best things that AEW did all year long on screen was Mariah May busting Toni Storm open.
Good pick. It's funny you said the TV deal. I'm actually gonna pick the TV deal, but not for the fact that I was shocked that they did it, just the fact that I was shocked by how much love they got for the deal, meaning how much money Max gave to them. The fact that Max has taken over their library. The fact that Max wants to simulcast them and this and that. And now we're already hearing rumors when this deal was made, 4 months ago or so? And now there's already rumors that they're regretting it and that they're thinking about taking more shows off and that they didn't sign that Fox deal anymore because their ratings are so piss poor that it's so not in shocking the fact that I don't think AEW is existing because I think they'll exist forever because Tony Khan can do whatever he wants. But the fact of how much Max actually gave them and believed in them to continue on with them because their ratings were declining then as well. So that's why it was the most shocking moment to me. I knew they would get a deal, but I thought it would be like a 1 year, 2 year slap on the wrist. You got to support it yourself kind of deal. We'll keep you on the air, but you need to figure it out. No, they gave them top money. I mean, how much money do they get in a year? 20, 30 million or something like that, or 50 million, or it's some high amount of money they're getting a year just to help book that show that Tony Khan doesn't have to take out of his, bump money. So that's good for them. So that's why it was the most shocking in my opinion. Now we'll see. And like you said, it starts this Wednesday. I mean, is that true with the Fox deal or is that just gossip? Because I heard that the Fox deal is like in the trash now.
Yeah, it's Meltzer. So who knows if it's
is
true
it?
or
Okay.
not. But he's the only one reporting it so far. But it was talk of the town for a long time, and we haven't heard anything about it. And now Rampage is gone, so there are some question marks.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. All right, what's next?
Let's go to this.
Woo! Breakout Superstar of the Year. All right, who is it for you? Who you got?
I'm going Mariah May. I feel like she's the women's champion right now. But again, I look at where she was last year to where she is now. She hasn't been around that long. She's been around I think this is like her first real year in AEW, her first official year in the company. I think she came in maybe September, October last year, and it's just been. And now she's already the AEW Women's Champion in her first match for the women's title. She beats Toni Storm, ends the reign of Toni Storm. I feel like she's definitely the breakout star of the year in AEW.
Great pick. It's my pick as well. Mariah May by far is the breakout star of the year. Who would have known that she would have done all this? And she did it. I mean, it's just the build up to one of the best feuds of the year as well between them two. Easily, probably the best female feud. I think it was bigger than Liv and Rhea. Just really, really well done. And man, she is just pure gorgeous. It's insane. But anyway, breakout star of the year, Mariah May. Keep doing it. I think she's gonna have a long reign too. Like I said, I think this is gonna drag on between her and Toni Storm. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and it should keep going. It's the best thing they have going for sure.
She's great in the ring too, and I love that she uses Tony's finisher. All right, best talker of the year. So not the best one promo, the best overall promos all throughout the year of AEW. Who do you got?
Oh man, there's so many to choose from, but I think there's one right answer, and it's none other than Christian Cage. I feel like his promos every time he's on the microphone, it's must see TV. I don't need to watch hour-long matches. I don't need to watch, I can fast forward through a lot of stuff. But when Christian Cage is on, I'm going to stop. I'm going to listen to what he has to say. And I'm either going to be shocked and awed, or I'm going to be like, I'm going to be mesmerized by anything he has to say. His most recent promo with John Moxley, where he was like, saying that I'm the demon and I'm the one that's going to tell you that it's okay, John, take another drink. There's the fact that he just goes so low and takes such personal shots. It's just great stuff. And I love everything that he does. And I can't wait for him to be AEW World Champion. So it's Christian Cage all day, every day.
Fantastic. He's going to steal it from Edge too. It's going to be great. Or Adam Copeland.
Yeah.
That's a great pick. Great pick. I went with none other than 2 times I picked this person, timeless Toni Storm. I just thought her promos were hilarious. The way she delivered them. And even though she's probably not better than Christian Cage in the sense of what they're delivering, but they were just so different and so funny. And I mean, she helped make Mariah May. I mean, everything she did. And even her coming back, her selling that interview where she was pretending like she had no idea who timeless Toni Storm was and giving props to Soraya and so on. It was just so well done. This girl is such a natural actress. She is just so damn good. I have to give the talker and the promo of the year to one Toni Storm. I mean, those movies alone, once they stopped showing them during commercial breaks, they were great.
Yeah, it was all good. I love the black and white transitions too. And AEW did that perfectly. And it just goes to show that they can do it. They can put on a high level, high quality production when they really try. And I feel like they really tried with Toni Storm. So that's nothing wrong with that pick at all. The one question mark I have is, was MJF on your list? Because he was not on mine at all.
Oh, absolutely not. No, MJF was not on my list.
Yeah, the fall off for him also needs to be studied for sure.
I agree. It's what happens when you don't evolve. All right. Yeah, look at the people on our list. Drew McIntyre, Toni Storms, Hangman, they all evolved. That's what you have to do. All right. Match of the year. This can go so many ways. Who do you got? I know your top 20 was all Will Ospreay. So which Will Ospreay match did you
It's actually, you're going to be surprised. Will Ospreay's nowhere to be found in my year-end awards.
Then you don't know wrestling, bro.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to get some heat for that for sure.
What do you even watch?
The best match of the year for me is Chris Statlander versus Willow Nightingale at the Chicago Street Fight at AEW All Out. Because
pick, actually.
It was a really solid match. If you go back and watch it, we don't talk about it enough because we're all talking about Swerve and Hangman sticking forks in each other's eyes and screwdrivers and all the crazy blood and the syringes and stuff. Like, it was just, that was way over the top. But this was a street fight that was brutal. There was a little bit of blood, but it wasn't overdone. They didn't overdo it. It was just a fantastic match. Probably maybe the best women's match in all of wrestling all year long. Doesn't get talked about nearly enough. Doesn't get the respect that it deserves. And those are 2 of the best women that AEW has, Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale, and they deserve their shine. And so that's why I'm giving them match of the year.
It's so funny that you picked that match because I actually very much so like that match. And I don't think it gets enough love just because of who they are. And even though, Statlander, you got to think too, because she also had a really good match against Mercedes Moné just right now at World's End. And Mercedes hasn't had many good matches this year. And the fact that she just keeps putting on good match after good match. Same thing too. I told you. Yeah. And the other one too, that you were at live, Sting and Darby against the Young Bucks, was another really, really, really good match. I could go with the obvious, in which everyone's going to pick, and go Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson and AEW Dynasty, because that's what everybody wants to see. But I'm actually going to continue to give props to my boy Swerve Strickland. And no, not Swerve Strickland versus Hangman Page, because even though I love those 2, that match was a freaking atrocity. But I'm going to give it to Swerve Strickland versus Bryan Danielson at AEW All In 2024. The one thing I love about Swerve Strickland is that he's a chameleon, and I've always said it. If he wrestles Bryan Danielson, he's going to have a nice, tactical, smart match. If he wrestles Will Ospreay, he's going to do flippity-doo-dahs. If he wrestles Hangman Page, he's going to bloody you up and stick a knife in his heart. If he has whatever he does, he will have that match and do it just as well as that person. And Bryan Danielson, we can all admit, is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, pro wrestler of all time, if you don't count Shawn Michaels. And the fact that Swerve was not only able to have this match with him, but do it at the same level as him and do his match went wonders with Swerve Strickland. So yeah, minus Swerve versus Bryan Danielson. If you haven't seen it, I think it's better than Will Ospreay, Bryan Danielson. I think it's better than most Will Ospreay matches, because honestly, if you've seen one Will Ospreay match, I guarantee you've seen them all. So Yeah, mine goes to Swerve versus Danielson.
Yeah, no, that was on my list, but yeah, it was a solid match from start to finish, and the fact that Bryan Danielson finally got the eluded AEW World Championship, the thing that he's never gotten to hold in his entire career, fantastic. It was a great way, and then everything with the Death Rider, it kind of set the stage for what we have right now with the Death Riders and everything. So
agreed.
It was a good way to end Bryan Danielson's full-time career, if you will.
Agreed. All right, what's next?
We have two more.
Feud of the year. All right, this could be a couple. So who'd you pick? You going boy or girl? I think those are the two options, right? For feud of the year, who'd you go with?
Yeah, this one was hard, and it's a 50-50 shot. But I'm gonna give the edge to, no pun intended, but I'm gonna give the edge to Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland.
I was about to say, wait a minute. Okay,
I was gonna go. Yeah. Adam Copeland and Christian Cage was on my list, but I'm gonna go Adam Page and Swerve Strickland over Mariah May and Toni Storm, only because they had multiple matches this year. These guys just did not like each other. I feel like they brought the best out of each other. Swerve had his best promos against Hangman Page. Page had his best promos against Swerve Strickland. Hangman Page burned Swerve Strickland's house down on Dynamite in an incredible moment to end the show. They were telling stories. It was a long-term feud that we finally got the ending to. So they told a story from beginning to end. And it was just a great, minus all the crazy stuff and the idiotic spots in the cage match that they had it all out. It was a fantastic feud from start to finish.
I fully agree with you. I think Toni Storm and Mariah May are the best female feud of the year out of every female in professional wrestling, but you have to give it to Swerve and Hangman, man. They did their damn thing. And even though I didn't like their conclusion to their match, everything else they did was golden. Every build to it, their chemistry together, perfect. Yeah, Hangman and Swerve for sure are the feud of the year in AEW. Agreed.
Yep. All right. Now the last one.
The last one, most valuable person. This could be a few people. This can be a few people in AEW. Who do you got? Who is your most valuable person?
The reason that I chose Mariah May as my female of the year is because I'm giving the MVP to none other than Toni Storm. And this is timeless Toni Storm. This is amnesia Toni Storm. This is rockstar Toni Storm. This is Mariah May who dressed up as Toni Storm at AEW Revolution and looked spot on to her. And Mariah May who dressed up as timeless Toni Storm after she turned on her. She looked identical. But it's Toni Storm all day long. She was the best performer that AEW had. She's the most interesting character that AEW has. She's must-see TV. Anytime, like Hangman Page, anytime Toni Storm's on, I feel like you got to stop and watch what she does or see what she has to say. The media scrums, I watch for what Toni Storm's going to say to Tony Khan or Tony Schiavone. She's just hilarious. And I'm curious to see what happens with this amnesia storyline that she has going on right now. And even that, like, she's selling it perfectly. Like, she's got a brilliant wrestling mind, and I feel like she single-handedly carried AEW this year with everything that she did. She was must-see TV. She had one of the longest reigns of the women's championship in history. I think it was 281 days. She deserves, from everything from her arrival, where she joined with Saraya and not Serena D, but the other Ruby Soho. To everything that she's done now, it's just incredible. The transformation has been second to none, and she has carried the company this year. So Toni Storm is my MVP.
Fantastic pick. All I've done is praise Toni Storm, Swerve, and Hangman. And my most valuable person is going to shock you. I never give this person respect. And maybe in the past 2 years, I should have chosen this person as the most valuable person, and I refuse to. But this year, I'm going to give it to Jon Moxley. And here's why. Because he is the workhorse. The dude does not take breaks. He doesn't leave. He gets injured. He continues on. And he shows growth in everything that he does. And he has kind of, AEW was floundering. I mean, they gave it to Bryan Danielson. What were they going to do with it? He was about to retire. MJF was gone. Adam Cole was gone. Adam Copeland was injured. Their ratings were in the trash. And this guy created an NWO type of idea with the Death Riders, took over the belt, has it in a briefcase, so much so that the referee holds up the briefcase when he shows the match is about to happen. I mean, he has just done wonders for AEW. And like I said, most valuable doesn't have to mean you were a champion or the best. It just means that you were the most valuable person in a time that it needed it most. He's carrying AEW at this moment the best he can, while everybody else now is kind of coming back, and now Kenny's coming back. Adam, now he can do what he always does, carry AEW when they need him most. CM Punk leaves, what happens? Jon Moxley gets the belt. What happens when MJF and everyone's gone? Jon Moxley gets the belt. In my opinion, that means he's the most valuable, so I'm giving it to one, Jon Moxley.
Yeah, that's a solid pick, and I love that pick. And he was on my list. I narrowed it down to like 3 or 4, and he was up there. But and the thing about this is they're telling a story, and that's all we ask for AEW. Just tell a story. Stop having random matches, and they're telling a story with the Death Riders. His promo work has been some of the best that it's been.
It has
in a long time. I mean, he does talk in riddles sometimes. I'm like, what the heck did he mean by that?
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, he has carried this company, and his stuff is some of the most interesting stuff right now in AEW. And I'm curious to see what happens with him versus Adam Copeland. I think that should be an exciting feud. So bring it on, man. I love everything Jon Moxley's doing right now, and he looks jacked. He looks the best
really
he's ever
does
looked.
Look good. Yeah. Good job, Renee Paquette. All right. That's our AEW 2024 Year End Awards. Let us know in the comments. Tell us if we're right or wrong. Let us know we are okay with what your opinions are going to be, or just tell us who you thought was your opinions on all these categories. As always, thank you for tuning in and so on. If you want to listen to me talk, your boy MWO is back. So you have my_wrestling_opinion at all social media if you want to hear everything I have to say and different takes that I put on this podcast. And with me, as always, is
the man with the plan. It's Ryan Enjoys Wrestling. Go hit me up on all the social media platforms as well. Go hit us up on TikTok at 2 Dudes with Attitudes, on X at 2 Dudes PC, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're growing significantly there. We haven't been posting a lot in the late November, early December, just with the holidays, but we're back to it now. So we're gonna have a big year in the year 2025. So everyone, stay tuned. We're gonna have a new look coming. So just be on the lookout for some big changes on the video front. And if you're listening to us on Apple and Spotify, we appreciate all the love and support. Go drop us a 5-star rating and review, and tell everyone about your favorite 2 dudes on the internet. And show us some love.
Yes, sir. Wolfpack, we out. Happy holidays. Happy New Year, y'all.
2 dudes with attitudes, let's go. It's the 2 dudes and our attitudes ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton, they here to get your attention. A 5-star broadcast, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E, the 2 dudes with the attitudes will bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'. Two dudes with attitudes, let's go. It's the 2 dudes and our attitudes ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're Ryan